The head of Britain's armed forces has warned there is a growing risk of a Russian attack on undersea communication cables. Air Chief Marshal Sir Stuar said a successful attack on the UK's network would trigger an immediate and potentially catastrophic hit to the country's economy and our way of life. In his annual lecture to the Royal United Services Institute in Whitehall, the Chief of Defence Staff said international trade and the Internet would be crippled if cables were cut or destroyed. He said in response to the threat posed by the modernization of the Russian Navy, both nuclear and conventional submarines and ships, we along with our Atlantic allies have prioritized missions and tasks to protect the sea lines of communication. This is like a rerun of old missions. Actually, as I'm about to say, it is very, very important that we understand how important that mission is for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO. Image Prime Minister Theresa May and Chief of the Defence Staff Air Chief Marshal Sir Stuart. In addition to new ships and submarines, he warned Russia continues to perfect both unconventional capabilities and information warfare. He said there is a new risk to our way of life, which is the vulnerability of the cables that crisscross the seabeds. Can you imagine a scenario where those cables are cut or disrupted, which would immediately and potentially catastrophically affect both our economy and other ways of living if they were disrupted? Therefore, we must continue to develop our maritime forces with our allies with whom we are working very closely, to match and understand Russian fleet modernization. His warning follows a report by Tory MP Rishi Sunak for right-leaning think tank Policy Exchange, which revealed such an attack would be a crippling blow to the country's security and economy. Earlier this month, the report found that while the greatest threat was posed by submarine warfare, fishing trawlers with deep-sea grappling hooks could also carry out an attack. The result would be to damage commerce and disrupt government-to-government communications, potentially leading to economic turmoil and civil disorder, it warned. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 was highlighted in the report, with it saying Russia was easily able to cut all digital communications from the region. It called on the government to address the security threat on the UK's undersea cables in its next Strategic Defence and Security Review.